Well, we made it to the end of a short holiday week, and this was a really slow week of trading, but I'm happy with how it finished, and we're going to break it down in today's recap. By the way, for those of you guys tuning in, if you have not already checked out a 2-week trial at Warrior Trading for 20 bucks, there is a link down in the description that you can click on to join the trial. And you can join it today because you'll still have 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. You'll either way, you'll still have the same number of trading days. But you could study over the weekend because the 2-week trial includes access to some of my classes so you can get yourself ready for Monday morning. All right, now this week ultimately was a slower week, and it's not surprising because it's a 4-day week with the Memorial Day holiday on Monday. The thing is, these holiday weeks, a lot of the sort of whales in the market, the big money in the market, they take long weekends, they take the whole week off. And so that reduces the liquidity and the volume in the market during these times. And then it's the traders like us who are in the trenches trading every single day, ultimately who suffer because there's not as much volatility, there's not as much liquidity, and so it's harder to make money. And I definitely found that to be the case this week. However, if we look at the week in whole, let's see. So let's see. Well, this is my P&L here for the last 90 days, as you can see right here. So, kind of grinding up slow and steady, pulling away a little bit, dipping down, pulling away, dipping down. Anyways, it's pretty slow and steady, which is good. Calendar for the month of May, not including today. Holiday on Monday, no trades on Tuesday. My first no trade day of the month. I didn't see anything I liked. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't like having no trade days. Not just because I'm sitting here and feeling like I'm not being productive and, wasting my time, but also it speaks to the slowness of the market. But then Wednesday, green, Thursday, green, and today locking up $1,457.57. So kind of averaging, $1,500 a day, more or less, here this week, which is kind of interesting. Similar days, and it's going to put me up like $4,500 on the week. So not a home run compared, well, none of these are home run weeks, but not a home run, but, helps move the month up just a little over 40,000 in gross profit, in net profit, sorry. Gross profit before fees and commissions for May is going to be what, 45,000, 47,000. So that's, that's okay. But, so a nice green month, kind of just like not a big month, but not a bad month, just sort of an average month, 40,000, decent. Okay. So can't complain about that. Now, when I sat down this morning, well, first of all, I saw LPA and I was like, what is going on with this? This is crazy. LPA is currently halted. It keeps halting, but it has no liquidity. What I mean is that you couldn't get in and out even if you wanted to. So look at this. This was a little screenshot that I grabbed earlier, which I'm going to add to the classes. This crazy spread. So I'll just make this a little bit bigger so you could just see it better. Let's see. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. So anyways, the spread is 387 on the bid and 473 on the offer. And it was a halt down on the bid, a halt up on the offer, which is absolutely insane. So I don't even know what to think about it. But anyways, I saw that this had made a big move yesterday and I was like, well, that's cool, but is it Chinese? And it's not, but suspicious. And honestly, this is the type of stock that could get halted by the exchange. So even just buying like 1 or 2 or 10 shares is like a lotto ticket. Like who knows, maybe it goes to $1,000. Unfortunately, it could also go back to zero. So no trades on something like that for me. There's just way too much risk. And because it's halted and it's a Amex listed stock, we can't see the resumption prices. So we have no idea what it's currently quoting for a resumption. It could resume at 300. It could resume at 600. We don't know. And that makes it sort of difficult as well because it's hard to sort of visualize and read the sentiment. So there was that. We also had SMMT yesterday, which kind of squeezed up here from 6 up to 12, but floats a little higher at 82 million shares. Ended up pulling back a bit this morning. I did trade it, and I'll go over my trade that I took on that. And we had NVOS, which was a leading gapper this morning. I'm actually red on this one. This was kind of typical cheap penny stock choppiness. sort of like watching paint dry, just not easy to trade at all. Okay, so where should we start? Well, we'll start with the first trade that I took today, which was on SMMT. So SMMT, I sat down around 7 and there was nothing. Nothing at 7:30 for news, nothing at 8, nothing at 8:30. And then coming up to 9 a.m., I'm like, man, this might be a no trade day. And then SMMT right here, all of a sudden squeezes from 8 up to 8:50 to 9, 9:50 to 10. And I'm thinking, wow, look at this thing. All right, well, shoot, I got to consider it. So as it's squeezing higher, I pull up my 10-second chart. I start to get dialed in. And I noticed this micro pullback right here. Okay, so we got a micro pullback right here, which you can see plain as day, micro pullback. It pops up for a second and it drops right down. I was like, I don't know about that. It pulls back and then it came up here. And as it held this high, I got in right here. So I only participated in sort of the top of this move. And as it turns out, I didn't buy a big position because I knew I was getting in a little extended up here. So it goes up to 980 and to 10. At 10, we saw that there was like a, 10, 20,000 share seller. So it dips down, it gets back over 10. And then right here, I was like, oh, we're holding 10. So I added, and then it drops back down. So I was green and then gave back my profit on this to the point that I was up only $128 net. So basically flat. Might as well just be break even on this one. It ends up pulling back, no additional trades on it, didn't give any other setups. On the 1 minute, you'll see, and here's, so here's our current spread on LPA. It's a 30-point, just a casual 30-point spread. It's really kind of unreal. So anyways, that just resumed there and, halted again. I don't even know which way that halted. Was it down or up? I guess it was up. It opened low and then halted up. Anyways, doesn't matter. So let's see. So SMMT, the MACD crossed over, as you could see right here. And at that point, it just started stair-stepping down and going lower. So yeah, that was it on that one. Next trade of the day for me was on NVOS. NVOS breaks over $1 a share. And I thought, all right, if it's breaking over $1 and it can hold over $1, I'll go long. So that was right here. Stopped out for a $50 loss. Whatever, doesn't matter. It ends up going red to green, resuming. I got back in right up here. It dips down. I was looking for that red to green move, and it hits a high here, but I wasn't really up enough. Like, it was just, I was like, it was like down 8 cents, up 8 cents. Anyways, it came back down. I sold for a loss. Ended up coming back up, but only down $227 on it. So at that point, coming into the open, before this trade, I was up like $50 on the day. And I was thinking, all right, we're coming into the open. I'm up $50. I might as well just stop here, right? I mean, we really have nothing looking good. So I said, let's be cautious. Well, NNE ends up hitting the scans. And let's see. So this one's kind of unreal if you look at this drop, but we saw it pre-market, and this was at about $9.50. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not a bad idea at $9.50. It's a blue sky setup. So then all of a sudden, it at the open starts squeezing up right here, and I jumped on. I was like, look at this. Here we go. So I actually got in right inside this green candle, and I sold inside this green candle. I got in and I got out. It was a scalp trade. I got in for the break at 10. I took profit as it hit 10.50 and 10.79. It looked like it was going to halt up, but I just pressed the hotkey and took some profit, and then it reversed back down. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm glad I took my profit. Ends up going sideways for a while, and then it sells off even more. So, it's just, today was one of those days where if you weren't quick, there wasn't much to get. I see some other traders still watching BNAI. Some people talking about LPA. You've got some stuff moving. VCNX, I saw this one halt up. I said, nope, I'm not touching it. Especially after NNE rejected, I was like, you know what? That's it, guys. I'm not going to go for anything else here today. It's just too risky. So, I was hoping that we would have a really nice, strong day. I was hoping. but I wasn't expecting it because here's the deal. It's the end of the week. It's a holiday week. It's a Friday. We usually don't get great headlines on Fridays. Now, there's always the potential for a wild card, a stock that goes crazy. Everyone starts trading it because those of us who are here in the trenches, showing up every single day, are looking for something to trade. So if something does start squeezing and nothing else looks good, then everyone kind of focuses on that stock. So we can get a wild card move on Friday. I suppose LPA could be considered that, but it doesn't even have any volume, so no one's trading it. It's just way too risky. And the rest of these, BNAI, ANVS, SWIN, things are hitting the scans, but nothing is really catching a bid and pulling away. So we're just kind of like, just sort of stalling out. Now we look at the overall market, and this also paints a little bit of a picture of what we've been dealing with this week. Overall market's pulling back a little bit. Look, this is trading. This is sort of the ebb and the flow. So the market's always sort of moving around. And, when we're in a nice long bull market like this, you'd think we would do really well. But realistically, that 6-month period was okay. It wasn't exceptional. It was just okay. March for me was a tough month, which was, right in this area. And the market was still going up. April was a great month. Market was dropping. May was a decent month, but nothing special, and the market was strong. So I don't know how much it really has an effect at the end of the day. But the overall market is pulling back a little bit. So we're, a little extended here, pulling back off those highs. And that's something to be, I guess, aware of. But yeah, I think, and then looking at NVIDIA, pulling back a little bit here. So yeah, no surprise there. FOXO, another penny stock. But yeah, I don't know. I think that overall momentum today is probably going to slow down going into the close. But you never know. You might get a wild card stock that gives you a nice surprise. But I don't think I would. I'm not going to stick around for it here on Friday. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the day, get outside, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here bright and early on Monday morning. Of course, I'll be live streaming for Warrior Pro members. There's no plans for me to live stream on YouTube anymore at this point. I know some of you guys have had questions of, is the morning show going to come back? It's not. Instead, what I'm doing are my recaps, and I'm doing educational videos, but I'm only streaming for Warrior Pro members. I just really felt like my broadcast and my commentary real time is sort of one of the most valuable aspects of what we have at Warrior Trading, that community, and giving that away on YouTube doesn't really make sense. So hope you guys understand. But as always, you can tune in here. You can learn a lot from the recaps, a lot from the educational episodes, and I hope you really enjoy them. And hey, if you want to come check out the community, we'd love to have you. All right, so that's it for me. And I'll remind you as always that trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow, and I'll see you back here on Monday.